I wanted to share a very quick testimony on sewing. As many of you know, I've been sharing, well, not just sharing, but coming together with people for prayer on my fan page, facebook.com/6figure your passion. Sometimes it's Wednesdays, sometimes it's Fridays. It just depends on how the Spirit is leading me when I wake up that particular morning. But about a week or so back, I was praying for one young lady for her business. So she wanted to see increase in her business. She wanted more clients, more revenue, and that sort of thing. And anyone who knows me knows that I say, when you are asking and praying for something, just be on the lookout, listening and seeing, because a lot of times what God is going to give you is not always a mysterious check in the mail, but sometimes He will just give you instruction. So as I was praying for her and praying for her business, the Lord began to instruct me to instruct her to sew services. When you have a business like graphic arts, a lot of times people want to see what you do before they just hire you and trust their brand or their new logo to you and your business, especially if they've never heard of you. So she was obedient. She began to sew, reached out to a few businesses and began to sew graphic work into them. And then it turns out that they ended up knowing people who needed her service as well. So what she sewed just came back to her and her business tremendously. And see, here's the thing. This all happened because she was obedient and she moved on the instructions that I was given by God to give her. A lot of times when people give us instructions, sometimes we contemplate, we overthink it, but God is a giver. And 2 Corinthians 9:10 says, He gives seed to the sower. So in this instance, He just made that an example of what His word says. She sewed graphics and she got back increase. And a lot of times when we are seeking money, we need increased finances for our business or even our household, we need to trace our steps and make sure that we are constantly being a giver, because if you continue to give, He's going to keep sowing and allow seeds to come into your life. So here's the thing. What I was saying to her is that, it's a blessing to have such a testimony, because now she's shown that by that example that sowing and reaping does work, and it can work for her business. A lot of times we think that sowing and reaping is just for our household, but it applies to businesses too. Whether you offer a service, whether you offer a product like books, like me, I've been sewing, and I just shared this on my fan page. I've been sewing books across the United States. I've been sewing books to people who have been helping me with various things, and I've just been gifting people books. I even gifted a person in Uganda a book of mine, and also I put seeds into the hands of someone who is in Bangladesh. So if I'm constantly sowing, God is going to keep giving me seeds to sow, and He does that. My daily prayer is and declaration is that money comes into my account every single day, and I'm just believing God that every single day money is coming into my account so that I can sow seeds and so that I can do the things that I have to do as well. Here's the other thing before I go. A lot of times when we are dealing with a whole financial issue, the first thing that we contemplate not doing is tithing. And a lot of people tithe sparingly and don't sow or give offering at all. And those who do tithe faithfully might find themselves every now and then they might be giving an offering, but you have to bring the tithes and the offerings into the storehouse. So when we are a good steward of what God has given us, He's going to make sure that we have more than enough to give. And I know sometimes a lot of people don't, and I used to be this way too. A lot of times people don't want to keep hearing about sowing, sowing, sowing because they feel like, oh, I'm giving, giving, giving. But if you are always giving, that means you're going to always be reaping. There are going to be no barren, dry seasons in your life, and that's definitely what you want. I have a teaching on PayHip. You could check it out. It's called How to Become Fertile Ground for Increase. And that's the thing. When you are a sower, you are making yourself fertile ground for increase. If you get a minute, check out that teaching. It's only $5, I believe. The link is payhip, payhip.com/6figure your passion. Check it out. It's about an hour long, and I teach a lot of other things besides sowing that you can do to make sure that your life is fertile ground. So if you are dealing with the issue of finances, lack, not enough, you need more, you're getting ready to do something, or you desire to make a big purchase and you can't see where the finances are going to come from, definitely begin sowing and definitely get my teaching. Okay, connect with me on Facebook, again at facebook.com/6figure your passion, and then also hit subscribe on this video and share it with someone who you know needs some financial increase in their life too.